We are live. Welcome to TT2. This is Hector Simon, and we are going to start another show for another Sunday night. This August 6th, 2017. How are you all doing? Good to see Kang and Kodos. Fox Morris, great to see you. Long time no see. Who else we got in here? We got Mr. Cordy Chep. You woke up just in time. Glad to hear it. The Sergeant Bilko. Everybody made it for the boom. Congratulations. I say that and I'm about to sneeze. Hang on a sec. Aircom. Pardon me about that. Good to see. Alive. You are alive indeed. And Mr. Cordy Chep is a regular member of the crew, I'd say by now. Hey Charlie Brown AU, good to see you. Oh, someone got the sneezes. I just have sat down, I've been scrambling around tonight. I don't have a lot of topics. I've got some stuff to give you a heads up about, but and maybe some music at the end of it. But yeah, hey Keith Foghorn. I don't know if I know you or not, Keith Foghorn, but welcome. Nonetheless, good to have you along, especially if you're a new viewer. Always like that. So how's your week going? Heads up, I'm going to be in Thailand next week at my dad's house. The internet there is kind of crap, so I probably won't be doing a live show this time next week, so there'll be a bit of a gap. Let me blow my nose quickly. I'm back. So yeah, this will be the bit of a 2-week summer break. We'll be back after that. Hey, Kimmy Kim, boom, welcome indeed. Chris Jack, good to see you, Chris Jack. In fact, hey, yeah, long time no see. Hey, we've got all the cool kids here. This is pretty cool. Drop me a hello if you're there. I'd love to know that you are there and watching. Also, given that I don't have a lot of topics tonight, consider this a Ask Me Anything sort of, put questions in. I'm looking straight at them right now. So yeah, tell me if you've got stuff for me. Maybe a heads up, since you are my my favorite YouTube watchers. I've been working on a bit of a project that is going to be going probably soon. I'm going to start. I'm basically developing a kind of an app. I've been working on it for a long time, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to sort of set it up and launch it, and I'm about to basically do a private release on it. A few weeks away, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. Anyone who has a lot of subscriptions, and by that I don't mean subscribers, I mean subscriptions, people who watch a lot of YouTube and have too many subscriptions that they don't know how to manage them, which is my problem. I've got over 1,000 subscriptions. Tried to figure out a better way to manage it, and I kind of made something just using the APIs, and I think it's super cool. So if you're interested, message me on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Maybe when it's all ready to go, I might give you a private. I'm going to look for some test users, but I want particularly there to be some enthusiastic and heavy users of subscriptions who like to keep up with their videos, not just by searching. So yes, the Hiko awesome app, that is indeed the one, Sergeant Book. I've mentioned it before, and it still is a bit of ways. I've got a fantastic sort of test version of it working, and it's getting to a point soon I'm going to start getting other testers. It's really cool, but you got to have a lot of subscriptions to really for it to mean anything. And in fact, there's only a very small percentage of YouTube watchers really use subscriptions. Let's face it, people sort of go to the channels that they like, they search. Or even me, when I'm looking for videos now, because my subscriptions, I can't keep up with them. I just go straight for the channel or for the videos that I want to find. But yes. So Mr. Cordy Chep, the stupid computer is starting to fall apart. That's a concern. That's a concern. Put all the bits back on it if they're falling off. That's what I say. Do what that guy's doing. Let me pause again. Whereas I'm going off screen, I'm coming back wiping my nose. I assure you it's tissues. I'm not doing lines of cooking or anything like that. Believe me, the show would be a lot more interesting if I did. Partly because I would be going to jail. So yes. Steve from Berkeley, It still lets you listen to Higo. You want to kick it so it works properly, but it'll probably even die quicker. Yes, well, Steve from Berkeley, good to have you along here, and I'm glad that you are listening to me anyway. Behringer's really enthusiastic, so you removed a lot of channels. Well, so this is the same problem I've had, and so I've been putting channels back recently. But anyway, maybe you need a new computer, Mr. Cordy Chap. I'm getting slightly distracted by the Mr. Cordy Chap computer drama. But please, nothing quite like that. Turn right, you'll have to replace both your MacBook and your iPhone in the next few months. My iPhone's doing great. My computer's even doing great. The only thing is during summer, it's so great. It heats up the entire room. So I've been using a laptop lately. I've been thinking about getting a better laptop, but we'll see how that sort of goes. Anyway, that's kind of what's news at the moment. Let's get into what topics we have. That's what's happening in Shibuya apparently right now. So this was kind of interesting. The week started off last week where apparently there was a bug on Netflix, and on the Japan version of Netflix, when people went to go and watch Thomas the Tank Engine with subtitles, as a lot of kids like to do, every show on Netflix was apparently displaying the same subtitles. There was some sort of bug that was making it play the same subtitles for every single TV show and movie, and those subtitles were the subtitles to The Godfather. So some people who discovered this bug enjoyed getting a lot of good screen caps, like the one up there. Is your iPhone lagging, or are we still one short, Hiko? Short one, Hiko. Kang and Kodos, I'm here. I hope you can see. Now I'm scared. Am I streaming or not? This makes me think that it might. No, but I must be streaming because the Sergeant Bilko was reacting to what I was talking about. Mr. Kordychep, no, it wasn't. It was The Godfather. It was tweeting out the. It was showing the subtitles to The Godfather. So you can imagine watching Thomas the Tank Engine. So yes, there are some lines there. I don't know the particular reference there for the one being shown there, but it says, "I don't want to see you slap head ever again." It's kind of a derogative term for a bald person, which seems to fit pretty well. There's another one there which is well, which says welcome. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, I've got to turn off notifications. Did my stream drop off? Hang on a sec. Is this working now? Kimmy Kim Kim. It's showing well at your end. Okay, I hope this is working now. The stream is continuing. Stream resumes. Stream is continuing. Can you see me? In fact, say right now I can see you, and then I'll know that it's working, because I just got a bunch of messages from people saying that the stream dropped. I'm showing good health here, and I'm showing that it's saying that stream is resumed. Working all along for Ben, Kang and Kodos Magic. Yeah, I got some messages from, maybe you could see on the screen, from Charlie Brown AU also there. Okay, well I guess it is working. Maybe just in Australia, they have pretty sucky internet down there. Which reminds me as well, I'm going to turn off the player here, save some bandwidth. Okay, very good. I've been here the whole time. So all these characters in the forest saying that they're going to in future be taking over all of the drug network up front there. The picture of Thomas down the bottom there, the subtitle says that man, Sonny wants to do some drugs. The Chibi Maruko-chan thing down the bottom was that San ga atama futtobasu ga oyaji ga kiita. Oyaji ga hiraita. Chibi Maruko-chan there saying, you know, what would the expression be in English, but basically rub out that motherfucker now, pretty much. She's ordering a hit on somebody right there. So there we go. Hey Mully, good to see you, Mully. Nice to see Foghorn and Mully and everybody. Anyway, Sonia Bratton, thank you for saying that. Dmoon85, thank you for telling me that you could see me. See from Berkeley, Robert XXX001 as well. And avoid as well, you can see me. So okay, it's working, it's good. You can see Chibi Maruko-chan ordering hitmen to go and wipe out mafia boss opponents. I thought that was a good way to start the week. Japan has the best Netflix bugs, what can I say? That's kind of cool. Let's get back. What else have we got here? This was kind of amazing. Somebody did a time lapse in Shinagawa Station, which is one of the major hub stations on the Yamanote line. A lot of commuters in the morning. Wonder how well we can show this one. Let's see if we can play that without it going full screen. Can it be done? Boom, check that out. Shinagawa Station in the morning. That's pretty intense. It's 51 seconds long. So this is a time lapse. This is what it's like commuting in Japan in the morning. That's very, very well done. That was I'll get the information for who posted it. Mully has a good question there. Any information on the fall meetup? Yes, there is. It's going to be a bit of a winter meetup in the event. Cool, Hoshino, good to see you. That's just a live stream from Shinagawa Station. Let's stop that. Boom. So this was from this Nanashi Shige Yoshi Inoue Twitter account. This was very well done. Hey Chado Sensei, nice of you to be creeping in my stream. That's cool. On the fall meetup, Molly, you asked about the fall meetup indeed. So Victor's away for a long time in September, as am I. I'm away on 2 overseas trips that month, and so we talked about it. And there's a few things happening, which means that we might be able to do actually a bigger and better party in, we think, December. In fact, what would it be, December 2nd or December 3rd? We are currently aiming for and starting to plan for December 2nd. So it's still a couple of months away. A few reasons for it, but the main one is just that we're both going to be away. It's going to be a little bit hard to plan for the normal September time thing. We'll do it well before Christmas, so you know everyone's still going to be around. And then I think we might be able to do it bigger that way. More information coming soon, but pencil in your calendars. Yeah, don't worry, Molly, I see it. Make sure you put it in for December 2 for now. That's what we have. We don't have a venue sorted out, but we're going to probably combine it with a couple of other events. There's a documentary big in Japan that was on Kickstarter that everyone funded, and it looks like that the release party for that, the launch party for that, might also be around that time, and we've been talking about matching that up, which would be kind of cool, and a way to sort of make it a bit of a bigger event. But we'll see. So anyway, keep that marked in your calendar. Barringer, this is indeed the place with the population crisis, and the reason for it is, you look at that. I mean, do you feel like adding to it? Everywhere else is losing population, but Tokyo is still growing in population, so that's the thing with Japan. Molly, don't worry about repeating it. So anyway, that was Shinagawa Station. That was pretty cool. We had a lot of earthquakes this week. Basically, ever since 2011, there have been a bunch of earthquakes in the same place. And that place is northern Ibaraki. So basically, that bit just above Tokyo. In fact, this one wasn't so bad. Ibaraki's more on the coastal side. So basically sort of in the middle and a bit up where it starts to say 3, 2, 1 very close together on that map. Basically there were a whole lot of earthquakes up in Tohoku, up in northern Japan, and basically and they were preceded by a whole bunch, like months and months of small earthquakes, and then this massive earthquake up in Tohoku. And after they all finished, all of the quakes ever since have been happening, not up in Tohoku, but down further down the fault line, closer to Tokyo, in basically Ibaraki. And it's been shaking sort of non-stop, and this is exactly what happened up further, 500 k's further north in Miyagi. So it seems almost inevitable that there's going to be another big earthquake, and it's going to be closer to Tokyo, and it's going to be in that place. It won't be in Tokyo, but Tokyo will be close enough that it'll be pretty bad when it happens. So it was kind of freaky the other night. It was, in fact, this was on the 3rd. What was it? Was that a Monday or something? Maybe a Tuesday. There was one actually like 2 a.m. I think that's what the NHK story was talking about. So 5.5 magnitude, but it was very, very shallow. So it was a lot like the Christchurch quake actually, and it was, yeah, there was a 4 on the seismic scale, which is scary. That's like officially scary. But yeah, a depth of 10 kilometers is very, very shallow, and so it meant that it doesn't go very far, but it's pretty intense where you feel it. So we had one really big one that woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It was only a 3 in Tokyo. A 3 is enough that you feel it. 4 is enough to be sort of scary but not do much damage, which is what that was. But yeah, we had that, and then the next day we had aftershocks. A couple of us all had 3 or 4 earthquakes this week. They could be foreshocks, so this is always the discussion. Clearly we had aftershocks from the big tremor on Wednesday, but whether the overall context of this is foreshocks or this is just sort of healthy release of energies, no one's figured this stuff out at the moment. Hey, Wavy Modem, good to see you. Hey, right back at you. So I don't know, but yeah, we get generally in Tokyo about 1 decent tremor a month, and they've all been in that same place like for years now. Having a few and having a particularly big one is a little bit disconcerting, but I guess that's just part of life here. Kang and Koda, 6 months in Japan over 4 years, you've missed each and every one. Well, I must admit 3s or whatever can be kind of, ooh, an earthquake, that's interesting. But, once it gets at 4 and above, it's probably pretty scary. A couple of 3s, yeah, for tourism sort of, thrills. I'm sorry that you haven't experienced one of those, but believe me, you don't want to experience anything bigger than that. When we had the 5+, upper 5, during that big one, which was of course a 7 for 500 k's further north, that was quite big enough in Tokyo. 5+, I couldn't even imagine how big it was for those other people. But it's a good reminder anyway, whether these are foreshocks or aftershocks, sooner or later a big earthquake will hit Tokyo. And if you live here or frankly anywhere in Japan, you need to have a plan for how you're going to get home if you're at work. And you can't use trains, which was the case on that day. Do you know how to walk home at home if all the shops have to close for a few days, as happened? Do you have enough stock at home that you can, do you have a buffer? Do you have canned food? Do you keep a stock of water? That's what we do. We keep water, which we sort of, always have a few weeks worth, and we just always, refill as we take away. And that was something that we started after this, because you couldn't buy water for a few days. It was kind of scary. So yeah, a good reminder to have an earthquake kit, have a plan, and if you've got all of that, then the worst that a big earthquake will be, you'd be very unlucky to actually be in a situation where it was sort of life-threatening. It happens, but it's a couple of people in millions generally. Even with large earthquakes, the buildings here are pretty good. It's more about the disruption to life. So just making sure that you got a good plan around that, about getting home, about having enough food, all that sort of stuff. That's the main thing. Have to fill the bath with water. Yeah, Americans say that a lot. I guess I've been in Japan too long. I used to drink tap water and be fine with it. I could totally imagine doing that I guess you wouldn't necessarily drink it, would you? You would probably wash with it and wash dishes and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a good idea. Japanese have super deep baths as well. So yeah, it's a good reminder. Hey, Jay's Mackie, good to have you along, and hello right back at you, and thank you for that. Shallow is what causes the high ground accelerations. Indeed, that is correct. Yes, the deeper it is, the less it matters, right? It's basically a bomb. I always explain it's a bomb going off. The deeper the bomb goes off, you'll feel it over a broader area. Even if it's big, you won't feel it so much on the ground, but if it's shallow, depending on the composition of the soil, it's likely to feel bigger, and that's what happens. So we had a couple of earthquakes this week. We had some shake shake. So I went and tweeted that promptly. Someone tweeted this at me and I liked it, so I shared it, and it is this. Good for the show. Boom. That's pretty cool. I like that. In fact, I like it so much I'm going to play it again. Boom. Should make that mascot for my show. I very much appreciate that. That was pretty awesome. Hey, ASDF1231, it's 16:51 there, which means that you must be 6 hours behind, which would be, where are you? You're not in India, you're like in Europe somewhere, I'm guessing. Maybe South Africa. Don't know. Okay, well, welcome ASDF. Exclamation point 122131. So yes. How do tourists match? How do tourists manage? Well, I guess if they go to the hotel, they'll be pretty well looked after, including getting out. You wish Europe. Oh, Israel. Okay. You know what I was just thinking was it seemed sort of in between India and Israel, which are time zones I work with. Anton, good to know you, Anton. Shalom. Oh, it's pretty cool. People in Israel are watching too. Boom. Let's get back to the topics. What else we got here? Oh, yes. Just when you think that mascots could not possibly go any further, there's this company that sells like medical little enema. It's like those little puffer things that you use for like cleaning camera lenses, except this one you put in your bum and you shoot water up with it. Most toilets do this for you anyway in Japan. You don't really, I guess it's good if you go into the jungle. In fact, I probably need one of these for when I leave Japan. But yes, you know, one of those things that I've never used and is kind of discomforting. It looks very, very friendly, but yes, that is an enema thing. In fact, what is the correct word for it? The kanchan, which is literally the Japanese word for enema. It's from Ichijuku Pharmaceutical Co. and it is, that's right, well, it's an enema thing. So basically you shove it up your bum, you squirt water in, and all the poop comes out if you are blocked up. It's a mascot. I mean, there's a mascot for everything in Japan now. There is well, let's face it, if you saw the things that thing saw, you'd probably end up with eyes like that, I think, Mr. Kordychep. I mean, seriously. The fact that it's sort of right there beside Tokyo Tower as well, I find also kind of, not Tokyo Tower, the Sky Tree, I also find a little bit disconcerting, I'm not going to lie. You know, there's enough visualization of stuff happening there. So yes, anyway, that's we've reached peak mascot. You know, every time I see a new crazy mascot, I think they just can't go beyond any further than this. We have reached peak mascot. They go further. And this opens up a whole new disturbing angle that we could take with mascots that I don't really want to explore. So let's abruptly move on to the next one. But I thought you needed to know that. Japan is going full on with making rules for drone delivery of parcels. I guess this is interesting partly because of all the news about Japan's delivery service Yamato just not being able to keep up with the demand for online shopping and deliveries. Also, post offices have been shutting down all over rural Japan. Elderly people are rapidly becoming unable to drive, but living in remote areas where they need to drive. And so, yeah, the government set up a sort of a plan to have drone deliveries in and around Tokyo by 2020, and a national transport plan for allowing drone postal service after that. And it really makes sense when you think about the elderly, you know, the aging population, the difficulty keeping up with the demand for delivery of parcels and so on. Yeah, it is kind of interesting. I kind of hope that Japan does lead with it. There's a lot of text there, but fundamentally it is the old the parcel drone. What I don't get is that, especially around Tokyo, living in apartments and high-rises, I don't know how it's really going to work with the delivery thing. I can see how it might work with a house, but even then, you know, it's going to land somewhere, and it's inherently got to be outside, which means I don't know what happens, like if it rains or something like that, or if a dog could come in, or someone could just come and grab it. So I don't know, I guess you've got to have a really good system for how you can drop it off safely and securely, but there again, I do really like, I like where the thinking is going. I mean, hopefully we are just a few years away, one hopes, from cars that can drive you wherever you want to go, and having parcels that'll come and deliver stuff to you. And that would be pretty cool. A shopping refugee, I guess it'll be extra good for shut-ins and so on. It'll mean that they really don't need to leave their house, which is kind of the case now, but the delivery system is having trouble keeping up with that trend. This will probably accelerate that, but that's where everything is going anyway, so that's kind of cool. I guess you could have personalized deliveries as well at exactly the time that you wanted them, so I kind of like that. The size makes it kind of terrifying. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the actual size. Have you people seen this? Have you seen Bomb, Arrow, and Stu in Japan make this music video that they made with a tune? Now, I must admit, at first I kind of thought, and then I listened to it some more and I was like, and then I was like humming the tune and watching it again so I could remember it better. And yes, I'm kind of, I must admit, this has gotten stuck in my head this week. Have you seen this? This is very important. Yes, Machine 977 is familiar. I don't think this will play sound. I hope it doesn't play sound. Well, I kind of hope it does in this case, but I don't think I've got it set up for that at the moment. Let me just play a little bit. You can only see the middle, of course. Let me just check as to, you know what, maybe this will work with sound. Does that play sound? I think it does. I can't get it to show. So anyway, it is cool. You have to check it out. It's very, very well made. And hey, Machine 977, it's okay. You're welcome anytime. It's good to have you with us. Kimmy Kim loves the song. The breakdown Gaijin Smash portion I thought was very, very good. Mount Fuji talks. I mean, really, what else could you want? The production quality is very, very high by 1980s standards. It's actually, you can see that Bomb Arrow Haruka there, I think, probably worked on this possibly since before YouTube was actually a thing, before it even existed. He must have worked on this for years. It is awesome. Go check the link. Cool Japan. It's on Bomb Arrow. Bomb Arrow Cool Japan. Go search for it. Like it, share it, do all that stuff, because people from the Japan community worked very. These two guys who do very, very good have put a lot of effort into this, and it's come out awesome. So share it. Make sure lots of people get to see it. I haven't seen the lost episode of Saved by the Bell. I'm not that familiar with Saved by the Bell, but yeah, that would probably make a lot of sense there, Lysander 45. It is very, very good anyway, so there we go, down to funk, Cool Japan. Let me see if I can just confirm which channel it's on. Yeah, it goes to full screen, but that is on the Bomb Arrow channel. So go check that good stuff out. Oh, there's an old story there. Don't know why that is there. Now this was an interesting one. You see this little girl here at a dinner party. Apparently she was given a gift kimono. She did a tea party. Some mother posted the cute photos on Instagram or something, and apparently, you know, somebody came on and said, you know, that's cultural appropriation. You shouldn't dress up like a Japanese person when you're not Japanese. And a Japanese person, this was on an internet thread, came in and basically kind of said to that person, I'm Japanese and we love it when non-Japanese people dress up in this sort of stuff. And it was kind of one of these cases of people maybe being a bit overzealous with accusing of cultural appropriation. For the reference, oh, and there was specifically, that's right, the geisha stuff there, and the tea party. Looks like a delightful party actually, but apparently, so for all the people who are wondering what Japan people think about seeing people like white people dress up like Japanese people like this, is it offensive? Does it feel like their culture is being taken by white people? Which, by the way, you know, cultural appropriation, I should remind everybody, is a pretty key part of, you know, Caucasian culture. We've appropriated everything, so, you know, I get very upset when other cultures appropriate because it belongs to us. The comments, that looks like a lot of fun. Oh, aren't they cute? Oh, no Japanese person would ever get angry at this. Just let them do what they want. Don't call them racist. This isn't racism, they're just a little bit mistaken, that's all. So basically Japanese people don't really get and it's probably also, you know, natural in a less multicultural society as well. The Japanese don't really get the concept of appropriation. But yes, was this story back from 2015? Wow, I didn't realize it was actually 2 years old. I saw it pop up on a couple of threads recently. I thought it was more recent than that, but there we go. Cool Japan is a government initiative like Center 45, so I'm pretty sure, given that that's the theme under which they try to promote Japan, it'd be kind of weird for the Japanese government to sue people promoting Japan or to claim on that, but we'll see. I very much doubt that. It certainly doesn't belong to NHK. NHK promotes it because NHK is government owned and it's government policy to promote Cool Japan. So I think actually what Stu and Haruka did there was very spot on and very, very good. Let them do what they want. Sage advice for our generation. That's well, there we go. Our generation. I don't even know what our generation is anymore. A question for you all. I'm kind of looking at mechanical keyboards. I've been looking at them for a long time. I recently saw a couple of articles, including Engadget here seems to recommend their WASD keyboards, which do look very, very cool. You can customize them, and they seem very, very nice, but they don't make Japanese layout keyboards, and I need Japanese layout keyboards. So for mechanical keyboards that make Japanese layout, any recommendations there? Because I'm seriously thinking about this. Anyone here is like good with this? This article itself was actually a great education for me, just on what the different switches mean. Like, for example, I'd probably want one at work, so I wouldn't want it to be too clicky and too noisy, but I would like it to be that nice mechanical feel. So if anyone here is knowledgeable about this is something I think I'm seriously going to take some action on pretty soon. And yeah, I would love to get one that I could like customize all the colors of the keys and stuff like that, just because that's the thing. So Philco I have heard of, and so Sergeant Bilko, is Philco actually like good? Is it up to the hype? Someone tell me this. Mr. Cordy Champ, well, yeah, and I can see a bit of that happening in the world. Yeah, I agree. So Philco, definitely, they're on kakaku.com. They're one of the big Japanese keyboard companies, it seems. So that does seem like it. Brown switches. So I know about the cherry, red, blue, black switches or whatever. I don't know about brown switches, but it looks like Key Foghorn knows what they're talking about. So you're talking about the switches there. Well, so you build your own keyboard, or what kind of keyboard do you use? You use a mechanical? Kang and Kodos, I've had a few Logitech keyboards and I don't like them. I don't like the fact that they have a really small spacebar. I really like this one. I got this at Costco. It's a Rapu keyboard. I like it because it also has poo in its name. It's very slim. It's they're not great keys per se, but it's a very great compact keyboard with the extra number keys on the edge there. And I also read the other day that Rapu apparently make a mechanical wireless keyboard, which is interesting to me as well. But what I like about this one is the big space bar. Even though with Japanese layout, the problem is you've got all these extra buttons down the bottom, which you do need when you're typing in Japanese. But it means that sometimes you get really, really small space bars as a result of that, or ones that are really like far off to the side, which I find very hard to type with. Extrify. They don't have Japanese layout though. Okay, well that's a good one. Currently use Extrify. Swedish. Oh, I see. Well, this is all good information actually, and I'm glad I'm recording this on screen because I think I'm going to seriously go for this. Microsoft keyboard still works great. Yes, I've got a Microsoft keyboard too. This is a Microsoft keyboard. I actually use this one right now. I like the portability of this, but I also quite like the ergonomic. I mean, actually, Microsoft makes great accessories. This is a Microsoft webcam. You know, the Microsoft ergonomic keyboard is also really good. Cherry MX Brown, gotcha. Okay, Philco, thanks for the tip there, Sergeant Bilko. I will look into that. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do something with this because I feel like I spend all day on computers anyway, and I do type a lot. So this is something And I kind of like keyboards, even though I don't buy them as I should. Everybody saw this, right? This crazy, well-preserved dinosaur fossil. I mean, look at that. It's got all the skin. You can see its eyes. They've been able to figure out the pigmentation of the skin, that it was like light on the bottom and dark on top, like animals commonly are nowadays. But this was incredible. So after they found this thing in Canada, it was like, you know, fell into the ocean and got buried in some mud apparently, which preserved it with its skin and everything on as a fossil. They've just started getting the results of the analysis of it. I mean, this was 18 foot, so this was, geez, I mean, it was enormous, like an elephant. The fact that they found this sort of dinosaur with all its skin and armor plating and everything sort of on, yeah, super cool. So anyway, if you've seen this, you got to read about it. The Canadian Dinosaur. Anyway, it was pretty cool. Okay, Robert Old Dude, you got a G910 Orion Spark. Well, that's pretty cool to know. Yeah, if you haven't heard about this, this is, to me, is like the most. I'm like a space geek, but this is like the coolest thing this year. This is a fossil of a dinosaur with skin on it. They've never found one before like this, and they've never figured out before how armored, plated dinosaurs, how the armor plating all fit, because, you know, they've been dead and it all falls apart. So they've only had to be able to guess how it works. Whereas with this, they can actually see it all in place. The only problem is that they can't see the bones of the dinosaur, so they can't compare it exactly to know that it's the same as another species that they have the bones for. But clone the dinosaurs, spare no expense. I quite agree, Lysander 45. What could go wrong? You just put them all on an island, it'll be fine. Make it a theme park. Okay, well there we go. Sergeant Bilko, you've convinced me with that very strong sales pitch. Perhaps I will use that on my secret project, which I'll be doing private invites for soon for people who are interested anyway. Yeah, maybe this is how Godzilla starts. That's like super awesome right there. I mean, sorry, that's not Japan related, but screw it, that is just really cool. I had to include that. That was like one of my highlights of this week, was just seeing that thing again. They found it like a month ago, but that was like awesome. This is kind of interesting, and there's been some discussion on it today. I guess I'm going to come back to it. Oh, and you know what, that's the last story, so I guess I'll come back to this. This is kind of interesting. Somebody who works at Google is upset at there being unconscious bias training and programs for minorities and women. And probably a very intelligent, you know, guy wrote this, but he sort of wrote, you know, he felt like it amounted to political brainwashing, that they were being forced to take this sort of training to condition people to thinking that, you know, if women aren't there, it's something that's, you know, due to them being wrong. It's due to, you know, discrimination and historical factors or whatever, even cultural factors, and not biological factors, for example. It kind of starts out with this person sort of saying that, you know, you can't have open discussions. The full text of this memo that apparently has been going around inside Google is on Gizmodo, and it's kind of interesting. So the person's saying first they value diversity or whatever. They also think it's not healthy that, for example, the recent climate of political correctness has a suppressing effect on legitimate political debate and exchange of opinions, which I also quite agree with. So it comes in very reasonably. And it talks about, you know, when we talk about these, the reasons that there are fewer women involved in IT, for example, let's talk about all the, not just the politically correct reasons to do with, you know, men being unconsciously biased towards making assumptions about women or minorities when they see them, you know, that put them at a disadvantage. But also consider that there might be scientific reasons, you know, for explaining why they're not in leadership, why they're not in hiring, and so on. So this person tries to kind of scientifically and reasonably break it down, but they start getting into things like there are, you know, IQ differences among minorities, and there are, you know, women have certain sort of traits. Women generally have a harder time negotiating salary, speaking up. What is he linking that to? He attributes sort of very generally traits, which is kind of quasi-scientific, but not. In fact, actually using a lot of arguments that I've seen a lot of kind of alt-right types use for justifying discrimination against minorities. And yeah, in the end of the day, it kind of goes on to come back to this idea that being forced to take unconscious bias training as a form of discrimination against white men. And just myself, like being in Japan, we do, you know, I've been in a couple of companies which do this, where I was before as well, in consulting. And you need to do this. I mean, the fact that it, you know, the point is, it's to make you aware of your self biases. And the thing is, while no one likes to admit that they have negative subconscious biases, that denial that you have them is what makes them sort of so dangerous. It was what makes them creep up. You know, I'm not a racist. I think of everyone as equal. You know, that's front brain talking, but back brain is programmed and conditioned from, you know, geez, from when you're in the womb, through a bunch of other factors to not work like that. And you know, you can't do anything about it unless you're consciously counteracting it with the front of your brain, which you're not doing most of the time. Microsoft 3000 keyboard, thanks for that. Shubus is here, welcome, buenos dias, Shubus. Very early in the morning for you, so good to have you along. So yeah, it's kind of triggered a bit of a wave, and I must admit there's elements to it. You know, have we become too politically correct? Is there a kind of PC fascism that's come across corporate culture? But there again, you look at, you know, Silicon Valley and Uber and all the stuff that's happening, and even the fact of, you know, some of the contents of this memo, it kind of says, well, yeah, there are problems that need to be fixed, and we're kind of lucky that we live in an age where, you know, people are trying to fix these things. But yeah, hey, I have bias. I mean, I do, and I'm dealing with it. I'm in a position that I hire people, and I have been before. And particularly when you're in that position that you get to shape your team, you're naturally going to be conditioned to trust people that appear familiar. I went to an old boys school, holy shit, you know, in a well-to-do neighborhood within New Zealand. So, you know, there's things outside of my control. It doesn't make you a bad person, per se, to have unconscious biases, but most people do. And, you know, being self-aware of them and in touch with them and conscious of them when you're doing stuff is the only way you can deal with it. Hey, Temiko L, are you in Japan right now, or are you in New Zealand? If you're in New Zealand, it is 3 o'clock in the morning, so welcome. But yeah. So it's an interesting discussion there anyway. Yeah, to me this is kind of, you know, highlighting the problem as much as anything else. There hasn't been a lot of stuff going on with Japan. There's been politics. They've reshuffled the cabinet. North Korea, they've just brought in massive new sanctions against North Korea for its missile program. It isn't going to stop with that though. So who knows what's going to happen there? They keep threatening Japan or whatever. But oh, you're waiting for a Kiwi. You're going to pick up a friend from Haneda. Well, that's pretty cool. Like I said at the start of the show, I will be in Phuket next week with crappy internet, so I probably won't do a live show. I will be on my annual summer vacation. I'll be back the week after that. Hopefully I'll be back in time, at home in time. I think I actually get back on the Saturday, so it should be cool. Victor is, by the way, also enjoying Florida. He's been there for like a month. He's going to be coming back at the same time as me, so we will do a 2.5 voyages when we get back. Here's up once again. Message me on Facebook, Twitter, if you have a lot of YouTube subscriptions and you are interested in participating in a beta for something that I'm trying to build. Just a heads up with that, there'll be more announcements about that soon, but it's super cool. Yeah, that's the show for tonight. You can ask me anything you want right now. I'm looking at the screen, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to plug in the iPad and setting up to make some music. So ask away if there's anything. Shubas, Portugal Circus in town. I don't know Portugal Circus. I thought you, for a moment, you were saying that you were in Portugal, which would have been interesting. How high is tall? Well, that's a good question. It's shorter than very tall, but it's taller than short. Let me get all the plugs. Have I read Rochelle's new book? I have not read Rochelle's new book, although I have seen it getting plugged. And it seems to be doing very well. It's been, why is it all men touching that? I think he's just trying to help it or give some friendly encouragement. Let's switch. And let's switch here as well, which reminds me the comments I have to. Oh. Where's Waldo? Waldo's really deep down. He was inside all of us all along. That's where Waldo was. Come on, there we go. Boom. Let's make a tune. Give me a style of music. Would you like hip hop, club music, or drum and bass? Give me a style, and I will give you a chillin' outro. And getting some funny feedbacky things there. Okay, I'm going to turn on the sound. I'm going to make a new track. Give me a style of music. I'll take whatever looks good from the first ones. Hip hop. We got hip hop from Steve from Berkeley. So hip hop it is. I quite like that. Robert XX01. DJ Christian metal. No thank you. License to 45. Not that there's anything wrong with that sort of thing, but just not my bag. Let me turn on the audio input capture, which is turned off. So let's turn that on and turn that up. That's the one. Okay, some hip hop. Let's pick a funky beat. So hip hop is generally between 80 and 110 beats per minute, so we're looking for something in that range, which looks nice. Here's some 92, so let's check these out. Now that's too fast, so we want to. That's kind of cool. That's pretty good hip hop. Let's see what else we got. What do you reckon? Punk jazz. Okay, punk jazz it is. Hey, Auntie Liana. Pretty cool. last one's a bit off. Just gotta fix that last note and then I'm good. So let's start playing this as if it were a track, and that'll be the end of the show. So next 5 minutes, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, hope you enjoyed the show. It's kind of cool. I'll play around with this. One more minute, then I gotta check out. That's the end of the show. Hope you like it. It's kind of jazz punk, hip hop. That's how I roll. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you next week. I'm going to be in Phuket. Let me know if you're interested in the app. And see you all soon. Be back in 2 weeks. Be back with 2.5 Voyages and Tokyo Tonight 2 with all the stuff from Japan. Enjoy the summer vacation. Keep cool. Kakite ano if you're in the southern hemisphere, stay warm because it's middle of winter. And have a good night. Boom. Peace. Look out for the track soon. See ya. Stop streaming.